glove for the three-point shot and puts it through. Lou Bernard, the batter, number 55, sends one deep to left field. Way back, goes way back. It is out of here. Okay, Katie bar the door here. Boom!
At Columbia Ice Rink in Howard County, Maryland, it's game number 2 of Maryland Scholastic Hockey here on Cable Channel 8. Hi, everybody. Glenn Simonelli along with Steve Bassett and Marty Thompson bringing you Maryland Scholastic Hockey. This time we're going to be seeing the Oakland Mills Scorpions against the Hammond Golden Bears. Oakland Mills is trying to peck away and get into the upper echelon of this league. Hammond trying to find their identity. Marty?
Oakland Mills plays a tight checking game. They've given up the fewest number of goals in the division, Glenn, so let's look for a strong defensive effort out of them. Hammond's got a good club. They like to skate. It should be a good matchup.
Hammond at one time was made up of players from 2 or 3 other jurisdictions, and just 2 years ago finally had enough players to field their own team. What kind of hockey can we expect from these 2 teams, Steve?
I think outstanding again. We saw an earlier game with Howard and Wild Lake, and I think the thing that most people will remember about that game is technically and fundamentally it was outstanding hockey. It's far different than the National Hockey League, as we mentioned in that game. We will see some aggressive checking, but we won't see the kind of hard-hitting hockey that you see in the National Hockey League. What we will see are good fundamentals, good defensive positioning, aggressive offense, and outstanding goaltending.
Something new and something different on Cable Channel 8 here. Maryland Scholastic Hockey on Cable Channel 8. It's a production of the Communications Department of the Howard County Public School System. We'll be back with the opening lines, the opening face-off in just a minute.
Here's one time it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Here's the other. Life's too short. Stop the hate.
Back at the Columbia Ice Rink for the Hammond Golden Bears, Matt Gregory will be in net. He is a freshman, wears number 1. And out for the Hammond Golden Bears will be Eric Colson. Mike McQueen will get his line mate in just a second. Oakland Mills is lining up with Wissing, Williamson, and Simcock on the front line, with Olson and Rosado back on defense, and we're just about ready for the first period. And here we go with game number 2, Maryland Scholastic Hockey on Cable Channel 8. And right off the bat, we get a whistle. In goal for the Oakland Mills Scorpions, number 33, Iggy Levelev. They're going to watch him and hopefully be calling his name in the NHL someday soon, I hope.
Oakland Mills comes into this game with a 3-1 mark. Hammond is 1-3. But we saw in the other game, Wild Lake was winless, and they played an outstanding game to defeat a ball club in Howard that had already won 3 hockey games. So don't think that that the standings and the one-loss record of these 2 teams is necessarily indicative of the kind of hockey we'll see.
As we have seen, the dominant team, or so we think the dominant team, sometimes gets caught off guard, and the underdog comes back and takes the game to them. Andy Rosado brings it across. Tries to walk in on Matt Gregory. Dave Wissing clears to the right side.
Immediately we see some aggressive offense by Oakland Mills, but we also see some outstanding defense by Hammond.
Which is what Hammond's going to do. They're going to have to rise to the occasion here with so few players on their squad. They're going to be shifting lines and personnel all day long, try and keep you abreast of who's on the ice at any one time. Oakland Mills across the blue line pressing. Tim Williamson tries to come in, and a goal scored by Tim Williamson at 13:52 left in the first period. Let's take a look at that one.
Little end-to-end action here from Williamson. Took the puck out of his own end. He wound his way through center. Came up around the left boards and cuts right across in front and tucks it in there. Oh,
Yeah, I think
it looks like they got a rebound
that puck
on that.
bounced, didn't it? I see. Yeah, take a look at that again.
There it is. It was a rebound. Okay, he made the initial save, and there's a rebound up high.
Yeah, really a nice job by the goalie to begin with, but then he just got caught on the weak side.
Again, Matt Gregory gets the first save, but when you have a rebound like that and you leave that open net to the left side, you're bound to skip it in for you. With 13:52 left in the first period, Oakland Mill goes up 1-0.
You made a very good point that Hammond is going to have to take care of themselves to some extent because they only have 4 additional players on their bench. They don't have a lot of substituting they can do, and I'm sure that Oakland Mills, with plenty of players on their bench, would like to try, at least by the latter part of the second or the third period, to tire this Hammond club out. That's when we'll see most of Oakland Mills scoring, I would imagine.
Andy Simcock with the goal with an assist from Tim Williamson and Andy Rosado has Oakland Mills up 1-0 over the Hammond Golden Bears. And Hammond again is tested here by Oakland Mills, pressing in their own end. From the blue line, a shot pushed aside by Matt Gregory.
Gregory's made a couple of nice plays so far, but Gregory may have to make a lot of nice plays before this hockey game is over.
May have to work a bit of overtime. Out to center ice as Oakland Mills tries to press it again.
Steve, to follow up your point, one thing Hammond can do to counteract that is to have short shifts. Just change on the fly, keep fresh legs out there all the time.
Good point.
Turkeltaub now out on defense for the Hammond Golden Bears, along with Danny Ipes. And across the line comes Smith from Oakland Mills, drops it off to Tony Ussolini.
In order for Hammond to win this hockey game, this is going to have to be a low-scoring game. If it becomes a shootout, I don't think Hammond can keep up.
A couple of the numbers on the Oakland Mills teams, they do with what they have and improvise as they go along.
There's a line shift by Hammond right now, as you had mentioned, Marty, and they're going to do exactly as you had suggested. Keep fresh legs out on the ice.
Play stopped with 12:17 left in the first. Oakland Mills up 1-0. As you are watching MSHL hockey on Cable Channel 8, Oakland Mills Scorpions in their orange and the Hammond Golden Bears in black and gold. And one of the officials needs to come off ice for a moment. As play continues in the Hammond end, Oakland Mills still pressing.
I think he has to go to the bathroom or something. He's left the place. He's gone.
Perhaps a cup of coffee. It gets a little chilly.
Maybe.
Oakland Mills slides it across. Tries to get a centering pass off. Almazan couldn't get a stick on it. Our referees for this game, Kevin Upton is our head referee.
Well, you can already see the dynamics of this game begin to shape up. Oakland Mills aggressive. They're staying in their offensive end. Hammond, a much more defensive type of a team.
Having to sit back just a little bit.
Well, and I guess their strategy has to be that they recognize that the Oakland Mills is bigger, stronger, and has more depth.
As Oakland Mills skates in, Andy Rosado tries to bring it in on a backhander, can't get it off. Slap shot from the blue line.
Nice save by Gregory.
By Olsen. Olsen tries to slide it across, no one there. Picked up by Mike Jenkins, tries to slide it across, intercepted.
That's a good defensive
by
play
Brian
by
Campbell.
Hammond.
He tries to get it out, and they board him over to the sides.
Brian Campbell's the quarterback of this team. He's their leading scorer with 10 goals and 4 assists, and He's the quarterback back there. He controls the tempo out of that defensive spot. So that tells you a little bit of their style. Hammond likes to generate offense from the defensive end.
We mentioned that this league is a young league. It's only 5 years old, and it was actually a league that was created by the skaters themselves and coaches and dads of skaters. A lot of these kids come from local hockey clubs, the Columbia Youth Hockey League and the Baltimore Youth Hockey League. It's only 5 years old. It was a brainchild of the kids. They wanted to try and have an outlet for their talents over and above club league. Yet the league is very well structured, Steve.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, they've had some very competitive leagues in the Washington metropolitan area for a number of years, and the fact that you put these kids along with those people, and when you think about the DeMathas of this world, and Mount St. Joe's up in the Baltimore area, and people like that, that's going to make this league a much better league because they're playing with kids that have been playing for a long time in these other areas.
There are 3 divisions in this hockey league, a North, Central, and Southern division. It's made up of teams from schools in 5 different jurisdictions: Baltimore City, Howard County, Montgomery County, Prince George's County, and the District of Columbia. And some of the perennial favorites, of course, have been Centennial. They took it all last year in 1992, along with Atherton. They're a powerhouse. Oakland Mills is trying to peck away at this hierarchy, as we mentioned at the top of the game. And DeMatha from the D.C. area, and, of course, Mount St. Joe's, which is kind of where this league is centered. It's centered up there at Mount St. Joe's High School.
And I'll tell you, there's a tremendous amount of dedication necessary to make this thing work, too, because you got kids out there at 4 and 5 in the morning and then late at night, which is the only time they can get any ice time.
Uniforms, as a matter of fact, are donated by parents. They come up with the money. All of the equipment is paid for by the kids and their parents themselves. As play continues in the Hammond area, of blistering slap shot from the blue line by Oakland Mills.
That's Doug Turkletop down there laying the lumber on Oakland Mills.
Another shot from the blue line by Campbell. Goes wide left.
Shot earlier, Dave Wissing got caught with a shot by his own player in his own chest. Had he gotten out of the way, that shot may have gone in for an Oakland Mills goal.
With 8:40 left in the first period, it's 1-0 Oakland Mills.
A little checking from behind here, I believe.
A 2-minute and a 10-minute penalty on that. A misconduct along with the minor penalty. And Oakland Mills will be down a skater.
Once again, we're seeing at this level that the referees really want to call things close. Any extra activities they're not going to tolerate.
Andy Simcock goes off for Oakland Mills. Steve, a note on the league. They have a rather extensive playoff series as well. They have playoff games between the Northern Division winner and a wild card winner, which will be later on in February at Piney Orchard in Odenton. And the winner of that plays the winner of the Southern Division winner and the Central Division winner, and their championship game is Sunday, February the 28th at the Capitol Center, and they play it after NHL hockey. The Caps will meet the Penguins in the afternoon, and that evening, MSHL Hockey Championship at the Capitol Center.
Well, and we made a point in 4 of the last 5 years, the Central Division has put a team in that championship game. This is the Central Division we're watching now.
Speaks very well for Howard County hockey.
Well, with Oakland Mills down a man, this is now, at least in theory, an even match on the ice.
A chance for Hammond to get in here if they can press a little bit, and they do get it back into the zone.
And the point to be made there is clearly what we've seen so far is Oakland Mills is the more aggressive team, and by now being a man down, we've got a more even matchup on the ice.
Well, Hammond's got to get the puck down and deep in their own end and try to set something up here.
They haven't really pressed up until this point. They need to get it back into that Oakland Mills zone.
Yeah, they've stayed on defense most of the time.
And now they break out, have a chance, but the 2 defensemen are back and able to intercept it.
That's good positional hockey there. They keep their 2 defensemen spread out, stand up strong at the blue line and play the puck. Nice
play by Brian Parker of Hammond to make sure that there wasn't a breakaway by Oakland Mills that time.
The penalty that was taken by the Oakland Mills team checking from behind carries a 2-minute minor and a 10-minute misconduct, because the Referees Association have found that this is the one that causes spinal injuries more often than not. So again, as we mentioned in the first game, there is a strong emphasis on the fundamentals of hockey. Not a whole lot of hitting, it's clean checking, and it's safety first. The boys and girls that come out to skate have to have the proper equipment, and it's safety above anything else in this game. Oakland Mills takes a shot from the blue line. Kedrick Smith in now for Oakland Mills. As they clear it out to center ice, does Hammond.
Well, there's a central point, I think, to be made about athletics in the county. And when we look at hockey like this, the fact that it's volunteer, they play at all odd hours of the morning to practice. They pay for their own uniforms. The fact... Oh, nice
slap
save.
shot by Turkeltaub from the top of the point, and glove saved by Iggy Levelev.
Yeah, Levelev with a nice save. And the point is, what we have seen is a reduction in the amount of budget for the athletic departments for the last few years. So here we see the expansion of if you will, almost a peripheral activity that is allowed to grow when the money has continued to get shorter and smaller.
I think it speaks highly for the dedication of these kids. They want to play that bad that they're willing to play at odd hours, pay for their own equipment. It's a demanding sport.
And the athletic directors at the high school are clearly supportive of these activities. I think the fact that Cable 8 is out here televising it is important, because it will now begin to get the exposure that it needs.
MSHL Hockey on Cable Channel 8. Glenn Simonelli along with Marty Thompson and Steve Bassett here at Columbia Ice Rink. 6:22 left in the first period between Oakland Mills and Hammond, and we find Oakland Mills up 1-0. As play has been brisk, but not a lot of shots. However, a spin around by Tim Williamson tries to get it back, and a quick score by Oakland Mills gets them up 2-0. 6:08 left in the first period. Let's take a quick look.
It's a fine play by Kedrick Smith, number 17. He's a tall, rangy skater. And Kedrick grabs the puck up here around the blue line, beats the defense, and makes a nice little centering pass across. Save here is Gregory makes the first save, but he can't cover the rebound. It just sneaks in there.
Hey, Gregory needs some help. This is twice that's happened. On both goals, he has made the save, and it's been on the rebound that the puck has gone in the net.
And we had a late whistle called on that play. The goalie had the puck covered.
Steve, in your own end, you must pick up the man. You've got to get the man.
Breakaway 2-on-1 by Oakland Mills as they come across. Colson finally does get back. A shot taken by Matt Cartwright, covered up by Matt Gregory for the Hammond Golden Bears. 2-0 Oakland Mills, 5:48 in the first period left.
Hammond's a little outmanned here. They can't afford to fall too far behind. It's just going to be tough for them as the game wears on, as their stamina level drops. It's going to be tough for them to stay up at Oakland Mills.
Bunch of big kids out here too for Oakland Mills. We saw it on the football field. We've seen it on the basketball court. Just seem to grow these kids bigger over there for some reason.
Oakland Mills has a fine history here of sports in Howard County.
Now there's a nice defensive play that time. Again, a good save by Gregory, but this time there was no rebound to put back because Hammond cleared the puck.
That's Dave Turkeltaub that got around in front there and broke up the play. Good play.
That last goal scored by 17 Kedrick Smith with an assist to Tim Williamson and Brian Parker. And with 5:15 left in the first period, Oakland Mills is up 2-0. And although we have said that they were dominant, they have been pressing, but Hammond has risen to the occasion here with their defense, kept the score down here in the first period.
Well, for the first 10 minutes of this hockey game, all we've seen is Oakland Mills on offense and Hammond trying to play defense and clear the puck. We have yet to see Hammond aggressively in the offensive end of the ice.
They have some good skaters. They've got a great goal scorer in Brian Campbell, 10 goals, 4 assists this year. He needs to step it up just a notch here, try and get Hammond Golden Bears on track. Oakland Mills tries to center, poked away by Hammond.
I'll tell you, Gregory's going to be shell-shocked before this afternoon's over.
Back in, Barry Parker over the blue line, drops it off for
Got a hold
Mr.
here on
Olson.
Oakland Mills.
And with 4:18 left in the first period, Oakland Mills is called for a penalty. Barry Parker is called. 2 minutes for interference.
It's a tough penalty. Oakland Mills was forced into play in an inopportune time to take a penalty, but he grabbed on and 2 minutes.
Face off at neutral ice, just outside the blue line.
Hammond must force the play now. They've got to get the puck down deep and try to set something up.
Up 5-4 now. Skaters on the ice. They need to press it just a little bit. That penalty to Barry Parker. 2 minutes for holding. Puts Oakland Mills in a little hole here if Hammond can press the attack. However, Campbell brings it up for Oakland Mills and across the line. A slap shot, but slapped away by Doug Wheeler. Hammond, as he goes down the backboards.
Yeah, I think we're about to get another penalty also, and again, it's going to be checking from behind.
Play continues until
Hammond's got their goalie out for an extra skater here.
they have an extra skater on. As long as they continue to control the puck, they can have that extra skater out there. 6 against 4 now at this particular point. If Hammond can press it, and he walks. Brian Campbell tries to get off a shot, covered up by Igor Lebelev.
And we got a penalty on Oakland Mills. Dave Jenkins coming up here.
And with 3:05 left in the first period.
Yeah, Mike Jenkins, number 20, down behind the Hammond net, checked from behind and very aggressively, and there was no question that there was going to be a penalty on that. Same kind of penalty you called earlier.
Hammond did a good job of getting their goalie out of there and getting that extra attacker on. Got a good shot. Levelhead made the save. This is a big face-off here. Hammond like to control this and get a goal.
Normally when that goalie comes out, the defensive team or the team that is called for the penalty covers up that puck as quickly as they can, or at least touch it up so that they don't get that extra attacker. And, however, Hammond was able to control that puck for 20 to 25 seconds.
Right.
Was able to get Brian Campbell in to get a shot off, and now Hammond is in an even better position now, 5-on-3.
Yeah, two-man advantage with 1:45 left in the penalty. They should be able to do something.
Bad pass.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Marty. That's just poor puck handling.
Mike Jenkins took that penalty. He will get a 2 and a 10-minute misconduct.
What I'm seeing here, Steve, is Hammond skating with their head down. You've got to look up, look over the ice, find the open man. They've got to be patient here. They're just pressing a little bit more.
A long clear in, or a long shot in by Campbell. Needs to be followed up by Hammond, though. They're shooting the puck into the zone and laying back. They're not getting in there and pressing the attack a little bit.
Well, and you made the point earlier, and I think it's a point that needs to be made probably a couple of times in this hockey game also. Basically, over the period of time, Hammond has pieced together a team. It's not nearly the kind of an organized effort that some of these other schools, and certainly Oakland Mills, has had. And what we're seeing out here is we're seeing Hammond giving it the best shot they've got with few guys. And when we talk about the fact they're not as aggressive on offense, they've got to learn to become more aggressive. This is truly a club that is trying to build itself. Where these other clubs, it's pretty clear, like the Centennials and the Wild Lakes and the Howards and Oakland Mills, a little bit more maturity in their strategy, in their capability, in the fundamentals of the game. And that's really the difference in this game.
I have not seen bad skating. However, they just need to step it up a bit and continue the attack when they're on the advantage.
They need to learn how to play team hockey, and that's just going to take time.
5 against 4 now. Hammond has an advantage over Oakland Mills, yet John Campbell brings it in over the blue line for the Oakland Mills Scorps. Five penalties now called in this first period on the Oakland Mills Scorpions, and none for Hammond. With 1:30 left in the first period.
Does that surprise you? Oakland Mills is known for its aggressiveness in every sport.
In every sport. Why are they a three-peat in football, we ask?
They're a big club. Looks like they borrowed a few of their football players here. Real tall team.
Tied up in the...
Ken Clark, the athletic director at Oakland Mills, has put together a very good program. It's a program that has been successful for years in all aspects, and they are to be congratulated. They put a very nice hockey team out on the field, out on the ice today.
Less than a minute in the first period. Teams at full strength now. 2-0 Oakland Mills over Hammond. As the puck is down in the Hammond area, but again, the Oakland Mills area, Hammond can't press the attack. Back over, Barry Parker brings it for Oakland Mills. Some pushing and shoving going on in the
That's a nice defensive
far right
play.
corner. Cleared out to center ice. 20 seconds left in the first period. Oakland Mills probably just going to sit back here, maybe take a final shot before the period ends. Cleared to center again by Hammond. 10 seconds left. Oakland Mills tries one more time to bring it across over the blue line. Comes Rosado, couldn't get the shot away. End of the first period. Finds Oakland Mills Scorpions up 2-0 over the Hammond Golden Bears. You're watching the best in Scholastic Athletics on Cable Channel 8. This is the production of the Communications Department of the Howard County Public School System. We'll be back in just a minute with the start of the second period. We'll recap the first.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
This is where I live. There are lots of doctors and machines for me and the other kids. Last week, a guy named Mike came. He took us all on a camping trip.
Mike gives up a weekend a month to help a disabled child, but he gets back a feeling that lasts forever.
When I get better, you know what? I'm gonna take Mike fishing.
To find out what you can do in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Back at the Columbia Ice Rink in Howard County, Maryland, we're watching Maryland Scholastic Hockey on Cable Channel 8. In that first period, we saw the Hammond Golden Bears' Matt Gregory make 12 saves. Unfortunately, he let 2 of them go in. For scores by Oakland Mills, and for Iggy Levilev, he has 3 saves. We find the Oakland Mills Scorpions up 2-0, and although they are the dominant team, Hammond has been at least able to harass them a little bit and keep the score down.
Yeah, there's a good point to be made, though. Shots 14-3. And that's basically been the story of the game. We've seen Oakland Mills on offense, Hammond on defense. That's what we've seen in this game.
Hammond's going to have to pick up the attack here a little bit more. One thing they need to do, Steve, and they're not doing, is they might want to try to dump the puck down in their own end, get down there, force a face-off, control the tempo a little bit in the offensive end, or it's going to be a long day for Mr. Gregory.
Yeah, you're right.
Which we saw a number of times that Hammond was able to get the puck into the zone, but then just trailed behind it. Their attackers just did not go in and press.
Made a point earlier about Ken Clark and the athletic program at Oakland Mills. And of course, as you had mentioned in the pregame and throughout the telecast, these teams aren't necessarily connected with the teams, but of course the kids, with the schools, but the kids go to the schools and is supported by the community. And I think along those lines, what we've seen out of the support at Hammond High from the community for football, basketball, the Booster Club, the other programs, we're seeing similar kind of support from the community and from the families of these kids for hockey. And that's what's going to help this hockey club grow, that kind of community support. That's not necessarily unusual, though, anywhere in Howard County.
A lot of these kids are from club hockey leagues in the Baltimore and the Howard County area. As we mentioned, the Maryland Scholastic Hockey League is made up of 5 jurisdictions. So we've got skaters from the DC area all the way up to Baltimore. And it's all done by the by the kids themselves, and a shot almost trickles through from Iggy Levelev. He made the save, and it got away from him.
That shot came through a maze of players from the point, and Iggy just stayed right with it, caught it right in the breadbasket, tied it up.
Dave Turkeltaub from the blue line takes that shot. He wound up and took a nice whistler.
We can see the puck winding around the boards here, and Iggy was quick to jump on that.
Hammond finally pressing, takes another shot. Doug Wheeler from right out in front through some traffic. Levelev gets his glove on it.
Well, Hammond's starting to pick it up here a little bit.
Yeah, between periods, there may have been a discussion there with Dennis Gottsman about the fact that if Hammond has even a shot at winning this game, they've got to take more than 3 shots on goal in the period. They've got to become aggressive offensively.
Scoring in that first period, we had a goal by Andy Simcock, number 23, and Kedrick Smith from Oakland Mills, as they are back on the attack again in the Hammond end. Hammond finally moving it around. There's a...
We've got a penalty coming up here, Glenn.
Yep.
Oakland Mills looks like a hold.
Oakland Mills will be down a skater. Again, their 6th penalty of the game. Holding
Brian Parker.
With 13:42 left in the second period. Brian Parker off for holding. Oakland Mills up 2-0, but here at the top of this second period, we have seen Hammond at least step it up a little bit, which they need to do.
You know, I remember a National Hockey League club up in Philadelphia that had similar colors to Oakland Mills, played a similar style of hockey. Do these guys remind you a little bit of the Flyers in their aggressiveness and their hard checking?
Don't quite know what team you're alluding to there, Steve.
Of course
However,
you don't.
Of course.
The Broad Street Bullies.
There you go. Marty Thompson, who hails from that area, certainly.
Well, but there is some
similarity.
I mean, the hockey that Oakland Mills plays is a very aggressive style of hockey.
They are a big team. They like to take the body, and they use that to set the tone for the pace of the game they want to play.
Long shot taken from outside the blue line from the center ice area. That was blocked and covered up by Iggy Levelev.
If you see number 17 in orange, Kedrick Smith, I mean, this guy is big.
He's a good skater, too, Steve. He made a couple of nice moves already. Hammond's got to get something going here. They need a goal.
Turteltaub takes it to his boards, tries to break it out. Here comes Hammond on the attack. And another penalty called on the Oakland Mills Scorpions.
Looks like we got a slash here on Kedrick Taylor.
Kedrick Smith, number 17, all for slashing with 13:06 left. Let's take a look at.
See if we can see that one again. I'd be very honest with you. I didn't see that slashing, and I think it's important to see if we're getting quick whistles here or if, in fact, that was a blatant foul.
Hammond now has a big advantage. If they can once again take the advantage, they're 5-on-3 on the ice. Here comes Hammond across their blue line, tries to center. Colson tries to center from the left side. Can't quite make a go of it. Back out to center ice. Off the boards, Wheeler tries to get it back into his zone. Intercepted and just killing off some time is Oakland Mills. Skating behind their net, trying to break it out. Having to play triangle defense when you're 5-on-3. Slid across the front, does Campbell.
Great job of penalty killing here by the Scorpions.
Now Campbell will take it and probably retreat again, as he does behind his net. 27 seconds left.
What a nice move. Is that good skating or what?
And the first penalty to Oakland Mills, they'll be coming back, but they'll still have about a 40-second deficit. They'll be 5-on-4 for Hammond once.
A nice shot, but it's tough to get slap shots to go from that distance.
From all the way from the center ice.
Yeah.
Mr. Levelev has a great look at it as it comes in.
Hammond can catch Oakland Mills in a line change.
Absolutely.
Here.
Oakland Mills still down a skater now.
Nobody filling the lane on the right side.
Hammond needs to collect the line, have the center and the wingers come in at the same time. Try and set up a good play. Out to center ice it comes. Simcock takes it up the right side. Ooh,
oh, what a check.
Hard by Hammond's Turkletop. And a shot was taken, pushed aside by Matt Gregory. 11:08 left in the second. Two 2-0 Oakland Mills over Hammond. Team's at full strength now.
Great job of penalty killing once again by Oakland Mills. Two-man advantage. They killed it off. Now they're on the attack.
Hammond had a couple of good chances there, and they did take advantage of it. In comes Oakland Mills over the blue line, but pushed to the boards by Hammond. Shot back in by Olson. And back around, and a whistle stops play. Face off in neutral ice. And two of the Oakland Mills players are still off the ice, serving the 10-minute misconducts from the first period. Checking from behind penalties that they were called for.
Hammond never really took advantage of that penalty. They were content to shoot from outside. Levelev's going to handle all those shots. Got to get the puck in deep and work it around.
.25 left in the second period. 2-0 Oakland Mills. As play continues at center ice. And Oakland Mills brings it back in there and regroup. And Oakland Mills tries to bring it out. Mount an attack here. Across the blue line comes Andy Rosado. Center and a score by Oakland Mills. Puts them up 3-0. Let's take a look on replay.
Rosado made a really nice play here. He works the puck into his own zone, gives it up to Williamson here, pulls it on the backhander, and he beats Gregory.
That's an incredible
Outstanding
pass.
play.
Just an incredible pass. And again, as we talked about earlier, the pass so often will set up the goal. Typically a one-on-one break, if the goalie can play it correctly, it's a tough shot to make. But the two-on-one with the pass, that's when the goal gets scored.
We saw in our first game the Howard Lions had several chances to do that very thing and didn't take advantage of it. And here Oakland Mills does indeed. A blistering shot by Barry Parker right out in front of Matt Gregory. He covers it up. That goal scored by Tim Williamson with an assist to Andy Rosado and puts Oakland Mills 3-0. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, take a look at that shot again, because number 3, Brian Campbell for Hammond, was in fact screening the goalie. Matt Gregory did a super job to catch that puck with his own man in front of him.
He wound up, got a good piece of it, but put it right into the chest of Matt Gregory, who was able to make that save. And puck floating around out in front of Mr. Gregory, and Kedrick Smith tried to get off a shot.
Kedrick Smith has pitched a tent right in front of the goal. He just lives there. Somebody's got to clear 17 out.
Which we mentioned in the first period, the first game, when the wingers come in there, they need to make that beeline to the front of the net.
Absolutely.
And stay there, wait for the pass, be patient. They'll get that pass from their centerman or the other winger.
Yeah.
Try and get a one-timer off.
Yeah, they've got to clear the offensive player out from in front of the net.
Nickel walks in over the blue line, tries to take a shot, gloved by Matt Gregory. 8:51 left in the second. 3-0 Oakland Mills.
You know, you think about strategy for Oakland Mills. That's pretty interesting strategy. They take the biggest guy on the ice, number 17, Kedrick Smith. They send him down and they plant him right in front of the net. And if nobody clears him out, he's there for the pass. He's there to receive a pass. He's there to kick a pass back out. He's there to screen the goalie. Somebody has got to move him out of the way consistently, and that's got to be part of Hammond's strategy, is to get number 17 out from that position. You know, that's like in basketball. Big guy will post down. If you don't get him out of there, he's going to get the ball and shoot.
If your defenseman does not clear him out, at least harass him, push him around a little bit to get him away from that crease area, he's very well set up.
Steve, we've alluded to the NHL a number of times, and one player who made a living living in that crease was Phil Esposito for the Bruins, and he'd park himself in front of that goal. You couldn't move him. It created a lot of problems, and we're seeing Mr. Taylor or Mr. Smith do that today.
Yeah, and Smith is a big guy, and the goalie, Matt Gregory, I mean, you know, 5'5", 5'6", maybe. I mean, all Smith has got to do is stand there, and Gregory can't see.
On the goalies, Matt Gregory and Iggy Levilev, again, we're seeing a classic stand-up style from both of these goaltenders, which is the style that I most prefer. We talked about that in the first game, about the flip-flop style of today's goalies. And goalies that we've seen in these games are their classic style. Stand up, make the save, don't go down. And Oakland Mills has to retreat back to their own end to regroup. 8:05 left in the second period. 3-0. Oakland Mills over Hammond.
That's not an insurmountable lead.
No, not at all. I was just going to make the point that if they can press it just a little bit, they've held their own. There's no need for them to sit back so much and play all defense. If they've got the shot, go in and take it.
Yeah, I think a lot of their strategy is they are thinking defensively, and rather than aggressively attacking the offensive end, they're worried more about Oakland Mills getting the break and coming down. Well, you don't win by playing defense all the time. You have to score goals to win, and right now they need 3 to tie.
With gentlemen like Brian Campbell, 10 goals, and Doug Wheeler with 3, Mike McQueen with 3, they've got the shooters. Shot and a goal by Oakland Mills. A quick shot from the right side as Matt Gregory goes over to complain a little bit to his defenseman. With 7:53 left in the game, Oakland Mills up 4-0.
We've talked about this before. You can't let them stand around in there, and they're letting them stand around, rebound, score. Here's the face-off. It's another point. You got to win those face-offs in your own end. But Oakland Mills draws it back. Nice slapper from the point, rebound, score.
Gregory did a great job. His save was terrific, but he can't catch everything. Some things, a great save also means he kicks it out. Somebody has got to be there to clear that puck out of there. And that's 3 times out of the 4 goals that we've seen that happen to Gregory.
If you give him 2 or 3 shots. And a shot from Dave Turkletop from the blue line, pushed aside by Iggy Levilev. Oakland Mills now up 4-0. Goal scored by David Wissing with an assist to John Campbell and Barry Parker. And with 7:20 left in the second period,
got an icing call here.
Oakland Mills up 4-0.
Now you wonder about the fatigue factor. We mentioned it. Hammond's outmanned. They can't make many line changes. They're down 4-0. It'll be very hard pressed to get back into this game.
And as Oakland Mills is pressing the attack so much, Marty, they can't do what you suggested, and that is change on the fly and do more line changes to keep fresh legs out there, give these kids a chance to rest up. Oakland Mills always in the end, you can't get your skaters off the ice. As a face-off is to the left of Matt Gregory, here comes Hammond trying to press it a little bit. Oakland Mills intercepts, and here comes Williamson back over the blue line. And a delayed penalty called.
We got a slashing penalty here on Hammond.
The referee had his hand up as the player skated in.
Let's go back to the previous play because I think the point has to be made. You know, we've talked a lot about Hammond needs to be more aggressive on offense and so forth and so on. But we just saw outstanding defense by Oakland Mills. The Scorpions got back very quickly on defense, and they took whatever offensive momentum Hammond may have had right away from them. So a lot of credit to Oakland Mills in the way they play defense.
And a big part of that defense, Steve, is back checking. Wingers have to come back and pick up their wings. Defensemen can't do it alone.
First penalty on the Hammond Golden Bears. Number 16, Dave Turkletop, takes a slashing penalty. 2 minutes with 6:50 left in the first period. The second period, I beg your pardon.
Well, Dave has clearly been one of the more aggressive players for Hammond, and aside from fatigue, we're also going to begin to see a frustration factor set in for Hammond as well.
Campbell took a shot from the point, pushed aside by Matt Gregory as Hammond, Oakland Mills keeps it in the Hammond end. Pressing the attack as Hammond is down a skater at this particular point. Slid all the way across to the other side blue line. And Hammond player made a great defensive move, gave up the body. Number 22, Mike McQueen. I beg your pardon, Eric Colson went down and took the puck against his right side of his body there. Nice NHL move there.
He'll feel that one tomorrow.
That's gutsy. I'm not sure I'd have done that.
I'm not sure I can do that either, and yet that for a defensive man, that's what you've got to do. You've got to go down when that puck is coming in. Gosh, they take those sizzlers right against their bodies. End to end comes Campbell across the blue line, tries to get a shot off, but pushed aside by the Golden Bears, and he has to just dump it in as he's going off.
He did a nice job. He was waiting for the change to take place, so he just backed the puck out.
5:27 left in the second period. 4-0 Oakland Mills.
And now here's the complete line change for Oakland Mills.
And back in with their big guy, Kedrick Smith.
Oh, he's huge, isn't he? Let's pay attention to him and see when he gives up the puck if he goes and plants himself in front of the net.
He reminds me of Robinson from the NHL.
Larry Robinson.
Larry Robinson. Tall fella.
He's got that long reach.
Covered up, but told to play by the officials is Matt Gregory.
Again, nice job by Gregory, but again, almost screened on the shot.
Nobody back there to clear it for him either. Another shot from Rosado out by the point.
This kid's a fine goalie.
Pushed aside by Matt Gregory.
There's Smith in front.
Team's at full strength now, but Oakland Mills should press just a little bit more since they're in the end here.
Look at number 17, Smith plants himself right in front of the goal.
Back out to the blue line, across to Rosado. He's going to take a shot, tries to wind up, but can't get it all. Goes wide right.
Nice
and
puck.
Cleared out by Hammond finally.
Nice puck movement by Oakland Mills. They're being patient. They're working the puck around. They've got Smith in front to cause some problems. Excellent offensive effort.
4:10 left in the second period. 4-0. Oakland Mills up, and it's back into their end as they regroup. Hammond changing, and Oakland Mills almost catching them in that change. Can't quite get a handle on it. Pushed ahead from Olsen to Kedrick Smith as he brings it around the back of the net. Clear to the boards. And a shot taken from that right side point. Pushed aside by Matt Gregory.
And a nice clear by Hammond. Also, they got the puck out of there.
Kept in by Oakland Mills, still pressing the attack, and now Hammond trying to break it out. Ooh, and kept in by
Now they have to come
Olsen
back.
of Oakland Mills right at the blue line. Rosado brings it back.
Hammond's going to have to start gambling a little bit here, send a couple guys in deep.
Yeah, 4-0 is 7-0. It's 10-0. It doesn't matter. You've got to get out and start to score some goals.
Shot taken by Williamson, covered up by Matt Gregory, and play is called.
Matt was looking behind him. He wasn't sure he had that one.
He had it right in his chest, and he did have his hand covered as well. Let's take a look on replay with 2:59 left in the second period.
I'll tell you what, without Matt Gregory, this is a 10-0 game. Gregory has done a fine job. He's just been fired on all afternoon.
As
And
Williamson comes across.
He comes up with another good one here. Hits him right in the chest. He looked behind him, drops down to tie it up.
Well, he just barely got that puck before it slipped in, too.
He had a good look at it, though. There weren't too much traffic in front of him, so he had a pretty good look at it as it came in. Hit him right in the chest.
There
And now
you
a
go.
breakaway. Doug Wheeler comes in, takes a shot. Oh, wide right of Iggy Levelev. And a penalty now called, delayed penalty called by referee Payne. Interference with 2:44 left in the second period.
Levelev stood his ground there. Wheeler came right on in. Iggy took the net away. Didn't give him much to shoot at.
Jeremy Almazan goes off. 2 minutes. Interference with 2:44 left. And the second period, 4-0 Oakland Mills. Hammond, crank it up.
Tell you what, Doug Wheeler wishes he had that shot back, doesn't he?
Great breakaway came in. And he had some mustard on it, too. He wound up and sizzled it, but it went wide of Levelev. And now Oakland Mills brings it out. And although they're shorthanded, they're pressing the attack. Cleared back out to center by the Hammond Golden Bears.
Hammond's got to start winning some face-offs, too. They're losing face-offs in their offensive end. They just can't generate any offense.
And they're a man up, and their defensemen are out here by the red line.
Yeah, good point.
By center ice, they need to press the attack. Out comes Wheeler from center ice, across the blue line, but offsides. And the Golden Bear fella was camped out.
Just a little bit offside.
Just a little bit offside there, yeah. And as in most of the sports, the player cannot precede the puck.
Well,
their,
and you know, that's a
zone.
point where the puck handler needs to be looking up and see the fact that the man is there and just fire the puck into that end of the ice.
As we can see the Hammond player well in the zone. As Wheeler comes in.
Look at that.
Yeah, see,
Wheeler's
Wheeler
player is all the way over onto that face-off surface. And a score, a quick score by Oakland Mills. With 1:50 left in the second period, puts them up 5-0.
shorthanded goal. That's a no-no when you're trying to come back.
The penalty still in effect for Oakland Mills. Here's a replay.
Well, Oakland Mills brings it right in, and Gregory got a piece of that one, but it just trickled over the line. Tough shot.
Had a defenseman out in front of him there, but couldn't get a stick on it to clear it away. Gore scored by number 85, Barry Parker, at 13:10 of the second period. Puts Oakland Mills up 5-0, and Hammond is getting deeper and deeper into the hole. They still have the advantage for 50 seconds. If they can just make it work, at least get on the board, perhaps get the momentum change if possible. But it just seems like Oakland Mills is just dominating here, pressing the attack, shorthanded goals. Interesting that Barry Parker skated past that puck at center ice to allow Brian Parker to come in. As we observed a possible penalty on the far boards there, a checking from behind that was not called. Play continues with less than a minute to go in the second period, and teams at full strength as of this moment, as Almazan comes back on, but will skate off for another player. 37 seconds left. Teams at full strength. As Hammond presses the attack now over the blue line, they come, but they're taken into the boards by John Campbell, and play is stopped with 24 seconds left in the second period.
We noticed that Oakland Mills has allowed the least fewest goals in the Central Division, and now we can see why. Mr. Levolev plays a nice game in there, and they control the puck pretty well and keeps the pressure off your goaltender.
With Turkletop and Wheeler in the game, that is Hammond's strength, indeed. As we're seeing the Oakland Mills bench, they are pretty much dominating this game at this particular time. And Hammond's strength is their defensive line. Unfortunately, they're just not the high-scoring line, and when they are in, they're able to at least push aside the attack. Can't get the shots on goal. With 13 seconds left in the second, a whistling shot from the blue line goes over everybody, hits the glass, rattles around. Out it comes to neutral ice, and that'll end the second period, and it finds the Oakland Mills Scorpions up 5-0 over the Hammond Golden Bears. We'll be back in just a minute to recap the second period and see the start of the third period. You're watching MSHL Hockey on Cable Channel 8. See you in just a minute. Back at the Columbia Ice Rink in Howard County, Maryland, Glenn Simonelli along with Steve Bassett and Marty Thompson. We saw 3 more goals scored in that second period by the Oakland Mills Scorpions. Tim Williamson, Kedrick, David Wissing took a second shot, and Barry Parker scores, makes the score 5-0 Oakland Mills over Hammond. As we start the third period, saves in up to this point, Matt Gregory has 25 saves, but unfortunately has let 5 go through, and Iggy Levolev has 7, and that says it right there. With 25 shots on goal, 30 shots on goal, as Oakland Mills presses the attack again and comes in and takes a shot, pushed aside by Matt Gregory. with 30 shots, 31 shots on goal right now to 7 by the Hammond Golden Bears.
The score may be 5-0, but it doesn't indicate what a great game that Gregory's played. He's just keeping him in here. The score could easily be 8, 9, 10.
He is making the saves. If only his front line can step it up a bit and press it as we start the third period here. MSHL Hockey on Cable Channel 8. This is the second of 2 games. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast today. Something new, something different, seeing ice hockey on Cable Channel 8 here in Howard County.
We were mentioning the point, Steve, that this is a club sport. It's not sanctioned by the schools per se. Do you see a point with the growing popularity in hockey and exposure here and the dedication of these players that maybe somewhere down the line it may be picked up?
I would sure hope so. I mean, why not? You know, hockey is as legitimate a sport as any other sport. And clearly, I recognize the fact that the county is going through a very difficult financial problem right now. And in terms of being able to fund another sport might be difficult. But when you have the kind of dedication that we're seeing, not only out of these kids, but out of the kids that play for all of the Howard County teams in the Central Division, the real question is, why isn't it sponsored? And it needs to be.
Mike Jenkins winds up, tries to take a blistering shot right out in front of Matt Gregory, but it bounces off of some skates. Olson brings it across. Pressing into attack once again.
You know, if we were talking about just a couple of schools, 3 schools, that's one thing. We're talking about 7 schools that have some kind of a hockey program. That's important.
19 in all. Very well organized for a club sport like this, which is really created by the boys, as we said, their boys and their parents from club hockey. 19 teams in 3 divisions.
Another point to be made, it's Martin Luther King Day, but there's a nice crowd here. No school, people have come out, and a lot of support for hockey here in Howard County.
Well, and you know, this is our first exposure to it. The Cable 8 has not done hockey in the past. And over the last 2 years, you guys have become a lot more aggressive in the sports that you have done. But this is the first time that you've telecast hockey. And the camera work and you guys are doing...
Puck out in front, and it just laid there, and it snuck through. A defenseman, Mark Dixon, tried to go down and cover that up, and I believe he just got in the way of Matt Gregory, and Matt couldn't see it. The goal went through his far side.
Yeah, Matt, he didn't have any choice.
As we see here on the replay.
Yeah, this is a tough one here. It's a scramble play in front. His defenseman's in front of him. He didn't have a chance on that.
Anyway,
tried to make a good play on that to cover it up, but couldn't quite stop it.
The point that was being made is that the fact that you guys and Cable 8 are out here covering hockey, and I think from all perspectives doing an outstanding job, also suggests that there is certainly legitimacy to this hockey program that we're seeing, and I think it probably deserves not only more attention on television, but we'd like to see the Columbia Flyer and the Howard County sports section of the Baltimore Sun start to pay a little bit of attention to it as well. You got people as dedicated as this, you've got to come out and give them the support that they deserve.
Goal scored by Mike Jenkins at 2:35 with an assist to Barry Parker. Puts Oakland Mills up 6-0. Hammond is in the hole on a breakaway. Williamson over the blue line, walks in, tries to deke his way. Oh, off the post. Off the right side post there. Great walk in. Rebound to Dave Wissing. Tries to take a shot, gets by the goal. And a penalty coming up as play is called now in front of the net.
Mike, if we can do this, let's see if we can get the entire sequence on replay, because Gregory again did an outstanding job. I want to see if he got a piece of that puck before it went off the post, and then he had to save it again.
As we're at 11:28 of the third period, Dave Turkeltaub of the Hammond Golden Bears goes off 2 minutes for elbowing.
Okay, here we see the puck over in the boards. Quick shot, there's a save. Back behind the net here. Oakland Mills controls. Nice centering pass. Another shot, another save, another shot. And a save again. So Gregory is just hanging in there tough.
And as we are back to live action here, Matt Gregory makes another save off of a shot by Oakland Mills and the face-off to his left.
Take a look at that shot again.
This is the breakaway here.
Oh, yeah, right off the post. It sure did.
Had it clean around his skate and around his pad. Went off the post. Like to have that one back, wouldn't he?
Yeah, wouldn't he? Good camera work, fellas.
At about 11 minutes left in the third period, 6-0 Oakland Mills as they are just continuing the attack here on the Hammond Golden Bears.
Hugh Lenzer, Brian Bassett, Mitchell Dubbs on camera today. This is the first time they've done hockey also. And I would suggest they shoot like veterans. I think they've done this before.
They must have heaters or something down there because the camera shots aren't shaking at all, and yet we're up here just knee knocking, aren't we here? My toes are about
a little
frozen.
chilly. A little chilly.
As it is wont to be at the Columbia Ice Rink here in Howard County, Maryland, for Maryland Scholastic Hockey on Cable Channel 8. Glenn Simonelli along with Steve Bassett and Marty Thompson.
There's Gregory again.
Gets a stick on it, and a penalty called now. High sticking.
And who else but Kedrick Smith camped out in front? He's camping today. He's on a little camping trip.
With 10:34 left in the third period, we have a call of high sticking. But no penalty called. It's just a face-off in the Oakland Mills zone.
Hammond may end up losing this hockey game, but Gregory is a hero. He's taken shot after shot after shot all day long, and he saved all but 6.
Steve, it looks like Howard County is going to turn
there.
out some good goalies here. We saw outstanding goaltending in the first game, and Levelev and Gregory have just continued it. Although Levelev hasn't been tested, we really haven't seen him show off his skills, but he looks to be a fine goalie as well.
1:02 left in the penalty to Dave Turteltaub of the Hammond Golden Bears. They're still down by a skater. 10:21 left in the third period as Oakland Mills clears it out and into the Hammond end.
Well, I don't want to jinx Reggie here, but or Mr. Levelev, but this is the time Oakland Mills starts thinking about keeping that shutout going. They don't want to let anything, give up anything easy here.
Mary Parker tries to bring it in. Ryan Parker brings it across, or tries to clear it out of his end. Hammond in, sends it around the back boards. Out the blue line, here comes Oakland Mills once again. 2-on-2 as they come across.
Nice.
Drop back to Barry Parker, takes a shot. And it got, it got behind Matt Gregory. It bounced off the backboards and came back to him. He had to cover it up behind his net. 6 seconds left in the penalty to Turteltaub. Let's take a quick look at that replay.
Take a look at this nice little drop pass here. Beautifully well-conceived play. Right on in the drop and the shot, and Gregory's there again to make the save.
As they come across the blue line here, there's the drop-off.
Well, that got behind him.
It sure did, didn't it?
Came back off of that post.
Players at full strength now as we're back to live action with 9:21 left in the third period. 6-0 Oakland Mills.
Gregory's got to be getting a little tired, too. He's worked as hard as anybody today.
Seen a lot of rubber in there today, Steve.
Yeah, that's right. He's about to see more.
Oh, as Oakland Mills had a nice centering pass out in front of Gregory, but Barry Parker couldn't get his stick on it. As play is up against the left boards. Matt Gregory brings it out.
Good check. Well, they're going to call him for that one.
Interesting to note that all of a sudden it seems that Oakland Mills are starting to bunch up a little bit more and not play their position as they had earlier in the game.
Penalty on Campbell. It looked like a good check there at the blue line, but he must have come up a little high.
And Hammond can try and Campbell off with 8:42 left in the third period. 2 minutes for roughing. Hammond needs to press now. if they are ever going to get back in this. And it's cleared away by Oakland Mills all the way down. Gregory comes out of net to stop.
Once again, Hammond loses the face-off in their own end, and
I'm not sure Gregory really wanted to do that.
Oh, and a goal.
Holy cow.
Gregory makes a bad mistake here, allows the puck to get away from him. There's no one there to clear it away. Oakland Mills gets another goal here, just about puts it away now with 8:21 left in the third. They're up 7-0. Let's take a look at what happened here.
Well, we're going to see David Wissing here.
Look how far out
Iggy's right on the goal. Wissing gets a good shot. Iggy's there. Now he just wants to fall on the puck.
Gregory
now he's got to hold on to it.
And he holds on to it, but then
he lets it go
play.
and gives it up to Wissing.
There you go.
Yeah, play, Iggy.
When Gregory came out and saved that first shot, which was just a shot down the ice, here's another one.
As Wissing comes in again, tries to take a shot. It's pushed aside by Matt Gregory, and he got credit for that last goal at 6:39 of the third period. And play is stopped as the puck goes into the stands.
When Matt came out of the net and picked up the puck, it was by himself. There was one Oakland Mills player coming down the left side of the ice, and Gregory just nonchalantly pushed it back out into the ice instead of clearing it aggressively and to the opposite side of the ice. That set up the Oakland Mills shot.
Has to lift his head just a little bit and see who's there. And when there is no other player around and the official thinks that play can continue, he will call off that cover-up and say continue play. And as you saw,
that really wasn't a good cover-up either. He didn't hold on to that puck.
And Oakland Mills intercepts and keeps it in. Andy Rosado comes in, sends it across to Williamson. Overskates the puck just slightly. He comes back from the blue line, tries to take a shot from the center, whistles over Matt Gregory back to the glass with 7:15 left in the third. 7-0 Oakland Mills as the puck goes back out to center ice. 26 seconds left in the penalty to Oakland Mills before they are full strength. Campbell in the box at this time, just about ready to come back out. 10 seconds left in his penalty as Hammond clears it all the way down to the Oakland Mills end.
I can't tell you what Hammond was doing offensively that time. They had the opportunity on a line change by Oakland Mills to aggressively go into the offensive end, and they just pushed the puck down the ice.
Should have caught them in the change, aggressive, skate in, try and take a shot while there's two men down. And the teams are at even strength now with 6:30 left in the third period. Campbell takes the puck in, gets away from him, and it's over the blue line. And now Hammond can just get to it. They've got a breakaway, as they do, but offsides is called.
And we got checking from behind. And they're really strict about making that call. We've seen that several times this afternoon. You just can't hit the guy from behind.
Another penalty coming off, and this is a 2 with a 10-minute misconduct for Oakland Mills as Olsen goes off with 6:15 left.
Here comes 17. Kedrick Smith back out onto the ice.
And I wonder where he'll be heading, Steve.
He'll pitch his tent.
I believe I see the structure going up at this particular time out in front of the Hammond net.
Well, we should watch that. I mean, let's keep our eye on number 17 for Oakland Mills, and let's see exactly what he does.
Andy Simcock is called also off the ice. Oh, he is going to serve the checking from behind penalty, as this is a penalty which will...
Well, if Hammond's ever going to score, this is the time. They've got to make it happen.
So Hammond will now have the advantage for the rest of the game, as Oakland Mills is down a skater with a 2 and a 10.
Nice save by Level on that. That puck was hopping, skipping around on the ice there, and
cleared all the way
right
down
with
to
it.
the end by
Here comes Smith after the puck.
Hammond, and that was a strange clearing by Dave Turkeltaub as he takes a hard shot back behind his own net.
Did you see that? Smith went right after
Smith went right after him. We have a replay on this. Oakland Mills has been called quite a bit this game for the checking
now look at this.
behind.
Turkeltaub is out in front of Smith. Now watch what Smith does. Right up behind him, boom. He's got him, and immediately the official whistled the penalty. There was absolutely, positively no reason for that penalty.
And it puts Oakland Mills down now two skaters down to Hammond, and Kedrick Smith is off for cross-checking with 5:14 left as Hammond is now in the attack zone. Hammond needs to keep pressing here, keep that line in there. Back to Wheeler. Wheeler tries to wind up, tries to send it in. It's wide left. 5 minutes left in this second period. Shot to goal by Hammond, finally on the board with 4:57 left in the third period. Hammond gets on the board, makes the score 7-1. Let's watch this.
Great play in their own end here. Hammond circles. I think that's Dixon, 34.
Yeah, Turkletop got the assist. Turkletop planted himself right out in the left corner, and he backhanded a pass right into Dixon. Beautiful move by Dixon.
Power play goal.
There's that pass from Turkletop, Steve. Great into Dixon here. Dixon takes his time. Here he is, and he just walks right around the defense, waits, right through the 5-hole.
Yeah, there was the assist up on that side.
Where's Hammond been all afternoon? That's the kind of plays you got to make in your own end.
Goal is credited to Brian Campbell with an assist from Dave Turkletop.
Yeah, now that was
Hammond's
fundamentally and technically that was an outstanding offensive play that time by Hammond.
They were patient, Steve. They waited. They made the right pass. They found the open man. That's what you got to do when you're up 2 men.
It was a power play goal, so the cross-checking penalty is now wiped off, but the 10-minute misconduct is still being served as a shot goes, almost gets behind Levolev. He has to reach back and cover up that puck as it trickled in between his pads there.
Levolev being tested for the first time in this game.
A lot of penalty minutes being racked up by the Oakland Mills Scorpions. 12 penalties called in this game, only 2 for Hammond. And yet Hammond has not been able to take advantage of the man advantage when they have it, when they're on the power play. Kind of reminds me of the old Caps when they played defense.
That penalty by Smith, that's just uncalled for. He should have never gotten that penalty. That should never have occurred.
4:12 left in the third period, 7-1 Oakland Mills as they clear it all the way down the ice.
Get the puck out of there, son.
Gregory needs to clear that when it bounces back to him. He shouldn't let it sit there. He got burned once before.
His team is being out-skated to the puck. He needs to know that and get the puck to his man, not wait for his man to come to the puck.
Along comes Wheeler. He takes a shot from the point, gloved by Levolev.
That's a good point, Steve. At this point, he has to become a forward himself. He's got to look for an outlet pass. He's got to try to create some offense if he can.
Yeah, they've made Oakland Mills mad. They scored. Oakland Mills is going to want to get that goal back.
Although they're up 7-1, I guess it's a save-face type of situation. They were going for the shutout, which has been wiped away by Hammond. And a 1-on-2 as Wissing tries to split the defense, but can't get the shot off.
Nice skating by Wissing also.
Cleared out by Hammond, but sent right back in by Oakland Mills. 3 minutes left, third period, 7-1 Oakland Mills.
We've got a little less than 3 minutes, but these teams are still going at it. They're still playing hard. They're still throwing the body around out there.
Back into the Hammond end comes Oakland Mills. Again pressing the attack, trying to get cleared. Is Hammond, and it's out to center ice. Oakland Mills has to regroup. Williamson brings it in, drops it back, slap shot from the blue line. John Campbell took that shot, went wide. 2:20 left in the third. And remember that
Hammond is just a tired team at this point. They look a little winded.
Oakland Mills is back to 5 skaters. And with 2:10 left in the second period, we have a face-off, third period. With Oakland Mills up 7-1, a face-off to the right of Matt Gregory as we have a line change for Oakland Mills and a single defensive change with Rosado and Nichols out there now for Oakland Mills on defense. Comes back to Rosado, tries to take a shot. Pad save. Gregory to his right.
Nice job by Gregory once again. That kid's getting tired. He has been the Hammond defense today.
Risen to the occasion, although he's let 7 go through. It could well be, as Marty says, it could be a lot worse than that.
7 out of what, about 700 shots? Is that what he's had today? He's had a bunch.
Parker brings it up around across the blue line, tries to center. Can't get it through the defense. Doug Wheeler tying him up. Pushed in front again by Rosado. No one there. Goes wide left. 1:20 left. Off the pads of Mike McQueen of
nice
Hammond.
Effort.
Gives up that body again. I don't think I could do that. Getting close to a minute left in the third period as puck is around the center ice area. And 1 minute left in the third period here. Oakland Mills up 7-1. Hammond, I think, at this particular point, just waiting to survive the game. As Oakland Mills comes out one more time, 2-on-1. Campbell has someone behind him, skates around, shot to score by Campbell. Kept the puck, comes all the way in, crosses in front of Matt Gregory and lifts it over him. As we watch on the replay, that about ices it.
Well, Gregory's just faced so many shots. He's a little tired in there. You can't blame him. He backed up a little bit. He got caught backing into his own goal. What the goalie wants to do is come out, but you can see Gregory here. And we got a 2-on-1. Campbell's coming in. He's backing. See, he's backing up. He wants to go forward, hold his ground. And he gave him too much of the net to shoot at, popped it over top.
It was a nice play by the defenseman. He had to do one of two things, and he took basically the pass away from Campbell, which gave Campbell that opportunity. It was a good play by Campbell also.
Forced goal by John Campbell with an assist to number 25, Barry Parker, number 7, Andy Rosado, as we have 19 seconds left in the game. And Oakland Mills has this one 8-1. And quite frankly, dominated the game, but did not need to be so if Hammond had just kept pressing on the attack. As we count it down, and the end of the game finds the Oakland Mills Scorpions beating the Hammond Golden Bears by a score of 8-1.
I think in terms of an analysis, we said it early in the match, we were going to see two ball clubs that were somewhat different, Marty. We were going to see Oakland Mills, certainly a better record, but a team that had been in existence and had been organized much longer than Hammond. And I think we saw that reflected in the quality of the play today.
Absolutely, Steve. And Hammond, although they were outmanned, we saw some good things from them. We saw some signs that they might point to for the future. But Oakland Mills is a tough club. They've got some good skaters, good goaltending, and an interesting game today.
Brian Campbell gets the lone goal for the Hammond Golden Bears, as Oakland Mills has Wissing with 2. Simcox, Smith, Williamson, Barry Parker, Mike Jenkins, and Campbell all with 1. 8-1 is the final score. And that about wraps it up here at the Columbia Ice Rink in Howard County for MSHL Hockey. We'd like to thank our crew, Mike Dubbs, our producer-director, Hugh Lenzer, Brian Bassett, and Mitch Dubbs on the cameras. I'd like to thank Susan Klukas for doing the spotting and the statistics. So, from Steve Bassett and Marty Thompson, I'm Glenn Simonelli. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye, everybody.